It's all things fishing from the ICAST show in Orlando, Florida. From the apparel you want to wear, to the bait you want, to the ride you need to have. We're going to bring it. Pleasure Boater, dead ahead. Welcome aboard another edition of Pleasure Boater. Hello, everyone. I'm your host, Captain Ted Jones. And you know, every year we send the weekend angler, Butch McCall, to the ICAST show. Well, this year it's moved down here to sunshiny Florida at the Orange County Convention Center in Orlando, Florida. So he's right up the road, a little ways from me. And we always give him assignments every year. So let's get him started right off the bat here, okay? It's a little windy down here in Florida, which reminds me that boaters sometimes need protective clothing. What about that, weekend angler?
Well, if you're like me, anytime you're fishing, I want to be comfortable. And I'm here at the Bell Ranger booth. And Joe, tell me a little bit about Bell Ranger, the company.
Yes, Bell Ranger was started in 1957 by my father, and we're now one of the largest manufacturer of clothing in the industry. We manufacture all different types of products. Number one product that we have is a 6.1 ounce ring spun cotton tee, Comfort Colors tee for comfort. It's a heavier weight tee, and art is magnificent on that garment. We also have a performance tee that's a 3.8 ounce polyester, and it is also a sublimated tee. So we have graphics on the front, the back, down the arms, and of course that's also a tagless label. We carry hats, we have decals, we have koozies, we have all kinds of products in this line.
Now, one of the things I also noticed, Brandon, was the fact that some great artwork on these tees. Can you tell me about that?
Yes, U.S. Angler is featured by famous wildlife artist Randy McGovern. Randy McGovern's been around since 1982. He's very well acclaimed. He has been awarded and done commission work for the CCA, for Ducks Unlimited, for Texas Stamp Print. He did the first ever print of state for the state of South Carolina in 1992. One thing that Randy McGovern is known for is his realistic style of artwork and his detail.
Well, there you have it. Great looking shirts, comfortable, no tags, virtually any kind that you want. What more could you ask for? I don't think there's anything.
All right, Butch, that's pretty good. Well, you know what? When you bring that boat out of the water, you want to know that it's been protected. You want it looking good. I mean, this is your pride and joy, folks. So, weekend angler, what have you got to keep our boat looking really nice?
Well, if you're a boat owner, you've spent hours and hours and hours cleaning on that boat, trying to keep it looking good and trying to protect the finish and the seats and so forth. But the good folks at Boat Bling have got some products that are really going to make that job a lot easier for you. Zach, you guys are known for the original hot sauce.
That's right. We make the hot sauce hard water spot remover. Now, one of the things that sets it apart is we're able to remove those hard water spots off the boat while maintaining the wax finish. You're actually sealing up that wax, make it even harder for those future hard water spots to stick and ruin your day.
Now, I don't have to use this right after I get out of the water. I mean, if I want to wait till the next day.
Sure. Hot sauce, and again, one of the items that makes it so unique is you can apply it while wet or dry. Right after you pull off the water, if you've had a long day out there, you're hot, tired, want to get some dinner and you have a shower, do it the next day, do it a week later, do it a month later, really doesn't matter. Hot sauce is strong enough to take off even the toughest water spots. The tune sauce is our newest product. That product has been in development for over 2 years because just as you said, how difficult it is to maintain that tarnish line. You can see that distinct water line so clearly on those pontoons. Incredibly difficult to work with that raw aluminum. Now, I've worked with some industry experts and we hired in some new talent specifically for that product, and it's an outstanding aluminum maintainer and cleaner.
Now, tell me something about the other products that you guys manufacture.
So in addition to the hot sauce and the tune sauce, we also have our quickie sauce, which is our pure wax. The quickie sauce, we call it the quickie because it's so easy to remove that residue. We've all been waxing a boat or a car. You apply the product and it's almost impossible to remove that residue. Keeps streaking everywhere. Quickie sauce designed to dry up to a haze. So once it's dried up, you just wipe off that residue and it comes right off. You can wax your entire boat.
Pleasure Boater is being brought to you by Bell Ranger, clothing fishermen since 1957. And by Blackwater Boats, classics are not born every day. And by Intrepid, one of a kind, one at a time. And by Glendinning Marine Products, relax, we're on board. Meet the Castmate from Team Fish. The Castmate was originally designed as a float tube, rod holder, rod rack, but has evolved into a platform for managing all fishing equipment and accessories for float tubes, pontoon tubes, canoes, and kayaks. Our additional accessory items include a sonar mount kit, camera mount kit, tackle box, and more. To learn more about the Castmate from Team Fish, log on now to teamfishco.com.
Hull Speed Marine bottom paints are designed to improve hull life, durability, and performance. Hull Speed Protective and Performance marine coatings are one of the most eco-friendly marine paints available. Whether you're looking to repair your bass boat bottom paint, improve outboard or inboard motor fuel efficiency, improve speed handling or decrease hull maintenance, or improve cleaning, Hull Speed is the right choice for you.
Welcome back aboard Pleasure Boater. We're coming to you this week from the ICAST show. That's where I sent the Weekend Angler. Hello again, everyone. Captain Ted here. Well, you know, the Weekend Angler found some clothing to keep us kind of safe, and we found something to put on the boat to keep it looking really good. But you know, one of the most important things you need to protect when you're boating, that's your eyes. Okay, Butch, let's see what you can do about that.
Well, I'm here at Vicious Vision, and Doug, you guys are the next evolution of sunglasses.
We absolutely are. I'm very excited to bring this new sunwear line to the industry. The secret behind our sunglasses is the lens technology. Our lenses are called Xperia UV. That's what powers our sunglasses. They were developed by a company called Essilor. Essilor is the largest lens manufacturer in the world, and this is their premium product that's come out of their laboratories in the last 2 to 3 years. All of our lenses start out as CR39 precision ground ophthalmic lens blanks, and then we load these into a chamber in our lab in Springfield, Missouri is actually where they're produced. And it takes about an hour to put the technology on the front and the back of the lenses, but they provide the best optics, the best UV protection in the industry.
So this is not something I can go to my local store and buy. This is something I've got to go to my optometrist to get.
Well, it's a premium sunwear line, and you're going to be able to get them through your local eye care providers.
Bill, seeing into the water, the clarity, I mean, this has got, if you can see the structure, if you can see the fish, you got a better shot of catching fish.
Absolutely, and you know, it's so hard to describe how important that is. You know, just to give you a little background on me, 10 years ago, I was blind as a bat. I had LASIK surgery done. So I knew what it was like not to be able to see really good, not to have good quality eyewear, to not be able to see underwater. So I hooked up with the Vicious Vision guys, and we started working on lenses. And, you know, our first run at it, it was like, no, this isn't right, this isn't right. And, you know, they brought this lens to me and said, hey, try this. And I was like, wow, this is the real deal. I actually wore them in the Bassmaster Classic that first year when we introduced them, and, you know, continued wearing them through the year and caught fish that I know I would not have caught without wearing these glasses. And this here lens that I got in my hand right here, as you can see, that's a unique color lens. It's called Yellow Moss. That's what we're calling it. It is so awesome that I think we should just call it awesome, you know?
Well, that's a good look. Let's see. What do you think?
I think you look great.
Well,
actually,
let's
say you look awesome.
Hey, I look awesome. Don't you forget that, Captain Ted.
All right, so we protected our eyes now, ready to do a little fishing. Inland fishermen looking for bass. You know, there's a real famous lure company that makes a lure called the Bass Assassin. All right, Weekend Angler, what have they got in the latest of soft lures?
Well, Captain Ted, you were asking me to check out the latest in soft baits. Well, I think I found it. I'm here at Bass Assassins, and you got to tell me, Robin, how much did you pay those people for all those great testimonials on their website?
You know, thank goodness we got a lot of good loyal fishermen out there. You know, we just fortunate to get them to put up all that stuff on the Facebook and talking about the testimonies and sending them pictures. We couldn't ask for, you know, it's gratifying to see.
You virtually got a soft bait for any type of fish I want to catch, such as
not much for offshore, but anything, you know, from freshwater to to the inshore stuff, we got it covered.
Now, let's say I want to go after largemouth or smallmouth bass. What would you recommend?
Our 5-inch shads, we've got creature baits, are mainly, and the swim bait craze has been great the last 2 or 3 years. And of course, these colors that we make and put together consistently, I think we outperform most everybody out there.
Well, you were talking about colors, and you virtually have any color combination that you could want, from the sparkle to the two-tones.
And as you see here, this is one of our inshore trout baits, the new Mama's Chicken, and it's 3-color bait, and we're one of the few that can make 3-color bait.
Well, let's see. I think I'll take this one and this one. You know, I only try and take the best products, don't you?
Yeah, well, we're going to have to check you before you leave here and check your pockets.
Hi, Captain Ted. Hope you learned something.
Hey, Weekend Angler, I like that Bass Assassin. Now, you know, there are companies that make things that enhance your lures. What about that?
In today's world of competitive fishing, you need every advantage you can get. And Jim, you guys have sure created an advantage for a lot of the anglers out there with your Fish Sticks Lure Enhancer. Tell me a little bit about the products. You guys basically have something for every type of fishing need.
Yeah, Butch, what we saw was a need for a scent that would stay on the bait. The old way of just spraying the scent on, it seemed like you'd throw your line in there and you'd lose the scent. After 2 or 3 casts, you'd see the oil sheen in the water. And so we decided to come up with something that would stay on. And so our scent stays on cast after cast several hours before you have to reapply.
Well, I have to concur with I can't tell you how many times I've made a cast and go, okay, I got to spray again, a second cast, third cast. So several hours, that's cost effective for anybody who wants to use your product.
That's exactly right. Yeah, the product goes directly on the lure. You don't lose a lot in the wind. It doesn't blow back all over you, your pants and your boat, and get your electronics all messed up. So, yeah, we're really happy with the response we've gotten.
Well, that's great. Now, one of the things we talked about was that it is eco-friendly. I mean, this is great for the environment.
Yeah, this is an all-natural product. We use 100% natural bait fish to make the product. So it's all natural. There's nothing artificial or synthetic that goes into the water.
Okay. Now, tell me again, I want to know a little bit more about the specifics. If I'm after bass, largemouth, smallmouth, I mean, you've got products that like the shad scent. That's perfect for that. Yeah,
we developed a product to kind of go after specific game fish. You've got your crappie fishermen, you've got your bass fishermen, we've got saltwater products and that type of thing. So whatever type bait you're fishing, you can pick the scent to match that bait.
Cost effective, it works, it's going to help you catch fish. And like I said, I can't tell you the number of times that I've been out there fishing, and I would have loved to have something that would have stayed on the lure.
Today's nautical knowledge question is, what is a term for shipboard rumors or gossip?
Hey, every tournament fisherman like myself is always looking for that little edge. And as a bass fisherman, I know how important scent is to the fish in finding their prey. So what I try to do is stack the odds in my favor. Fish Sticks does exactly that. It's a real, all-natural product that imitates what bass eat, shad and crawfish. And it doesn't matter whether you're fishing, slow-moving baits like a jig or a fast-moving bait like a sexy shad crankbait. If it smells like the real thing, you're going to get more bites.
Eagle Claw, the brand that started it all, remains the staple of today's value-conscious fishermen. Eagle Claw hooks are the only hooks made in the USA and are built with integrity, honesty, and over 85 years of hook-making experience and heritage. The Eagle Claw brand remains the face of the company and one of the most widely recognized brands in all of fishing. Eagle Claw offers consumers an extremely price-competitive product without compromising quality or attention to detail. Spanning both fresh and saltwater fishing, Eagle Claw provides anglers with numerous choices of hooks and terminal tackle for a whole array of species.
The answer to this week's nautical knowledge question, what is a term for shipboard rumors or gossip? Scuttlebutt. Welcome back aboard Pleasure Boater, ladies and gentlemen. Our special fishing edition here, coming to you from the ICAST show in Orlando, Florida. I've got the weekend angler up there, Butch McCall, and we've talked about lures. We've talked about things to make the lure smell to the fish a little bit better, enhancers they call them. But there are those fishermen that want to do it the easy way with live bait. Now, where can you find that? If you don't have a bait store nearby, is there some common place you can get that? Weekend Angler, get busy.
Guys, I can't tell you how many times during my tournament fishing, you just get worn out. You're casting, retrieving. You're trying to work on different patterns. You're trying to think about what the fish would hit, what kind of retrieve is going to make them institute that strike. But there are sometimes, I got to admit, I just want to throw a bobber out there with the live bait on it just to sit back and relax. And Dan, you guys at DMF Bait Company have got the products for me.
Absolutely. We've got something for everybody, too. We've got our number one selling item is the 18-count night crawlers. We've got the 30-count red worms. We've got 36-count wax worms, 12-count green worms, 36-count mealworms. We've even got a 20-count butterworm. Night crawler's your old standby. You're going to put a night crawler, you catch just about anything. Red worms are our number 2 selling item. You're going to get more of the, we call them bait stealers, a lot of the littler fish. They're great for kids and families that just want to get a lot of action, not worried about feeding themselves or anything like that, or they're not going to catch the big game fish. And mealworms are for the finicky fish, ideally for ice fishing, but we have people using them all year round in the trout streams. Perch love them. Crappie will go crazy over wax worms, so we address that. And then the green worms, that's more of a specialty live bait. It's deadly for walleye and smallmouth bass.
Sounds like you've covered the gamut of them. Your market, you guys, I would say, the novice fishermen.
Yep, novice fishermen, families. We kind of gear towards the weekend warrior, the camper.
Where is your product available?
Well, our product available in 49 states. We service everywhere but Hawaii. Primarily, we're in the big box stores: Walmart, Dick's, Academy, Mills Fleet Farm. The list goes on. Bass Pro, Cabela's. We service over 6,000 stores nationwide.
Pleasure Boater has been brought to you by Flex Stick Anchors, Find Your Balance, and by Bass Assassin, brands to love and trust, and by DMF Bait, our worms catch fish or die trying, and by Intrepid, one of a kind, one at a time. It's time for Boat Test, a look at the latest models from the premier boat manufacturers from the people at BoatTest.com. Tests you can trust.
Hi, Captain Steve for BoatTest.com, and today I'm on the Mako 284cc. It's a center console built for offshore fishing with a nod towards family functionality. Let's start as I take a look at the fishing features, beginning with this bait station. Well, it starts with rocket launchers both high and low, a freshwater sink, 50-gallon live well, grab handle just beneath, drink holders and tool holders to the outside. There are 3 rod racks underneath the gunnels that'll hold rods up to 7 feet, and the cap reel, 3 flush-mounted rod holders. Well, we've got a pair of 300 Verados attached to the transom. There's a platform across the motor well, so I have easy access to the engine shrouds, take them off for the daily checks. Now, as we make our way out to the fishing grounds, I've got a well-laid-out helm, cast steering wheel with a steering knob, SmartCraft gauges reduce clutter, plenty of open real estate for electronics. Coming down, digital throttle controls with a whole host of optional features. Rocker switches underneath, circuit breakers next to each switch. The helm seat's double wide, allowing for a second set of eyes looking forward. And Mako put storage underneath and even included storage within the storage. Now let's talk about where we're going to keep our fish. The 2 in-deck fish storage lockers, 390 quarts. They're insulated, macerated, and self-draining. In a long day of fishing, we're going to have to use the head.
I've got 6 feet 7 inches of headroom here, an electric Jobsco toilet, and a freshwater sink. The Mako 284cc has a length overall of 28 feet 4 inches, a beam of 9 feet 10 inches, and a hull draft of 21 inches. With the 300 horsepower Mercury Verados turning 19-pitch Mirage Plus props, we reached a top speed of 54.5 miles per hour at 5,900 RPM. At that speed, we were burning a combined 59.6 gallons per hour, giving us a range of 187 miles. I've come to expect a lot from Makos regarding their handling, and this 284 did not disappoint. She's a great handling boat, very responsive to the helm. The bow comes up 10 degrees upon accelerating, and that does block the view past the bow, so the proper method will be to add full power to get her planing quickly and then pull back to cruise speed. Once on plane, just a few light touches of the trim will get the spray moving back to the aft quarters, and she'll be in proper running attitude.
Well, clearly, Mako created a very capable offshore fishing boat, and I'm telling you, my family would love this as well. That's my look at the 284 center console from Mako. For BoatTest.com, I'm Captain Steve. We'll see you on the water.
Cruiser board is a new category of paddlecraft that sets previously unknown standards for comfort, stability, dry ride, and versatility. Deck mounted on fore or aft tracks, the patented adjustable ergonomically designed seat and learning post combination allows you to paddle or fish from a supported standing position or from a seated position. Whether you want to fish, cruise, or explore, you must try the Cruiser board. There's nothing else like it.
This product highlight is about the largest manufacturer of pleasure boat seating and interiors in the country. The Wise Company features deluxe seating, fishing chair seating, molded plastic seating, camouflage seating, procasting seating, premier pontoon group seating, offshore marine seating, pontoon accessories, and seat pedestals. Wise Marine Seating features a 6-year warranty on the seat frame and a 3-year warranty on the upholstery. Check it out at wiseseats.com.
It's time for the Yacht of the Week. This week, Captain Steve is going to take us on a tour of a Prestige 750.
The Prestige 750 has a length overall of 74 feet, a beam of 17 feet 10 inches, and a draft of 5 feet 2 inches. With the optional MAN 1200s turning 33.9-inch by 4-bladed Detra propellers, we reached a top speed of 28 knots at 2390 RPM. At that speed, we were burning 114.1 gallons per hour, giving us a range of 252 nautical miles. There really is no best cruise speed, as the fuel burn is perfectly linear as the speed is increased. It's basically a matter of setting the speed for a target range if distance is the goal. We had a relatively relaxed sea state on test day, but the harbor was a popular yachting center, and as such, large vessels were steaming through the test area all day. Crossing through and across these large wakes was quite telling and showed that the 750 remains comfortable and takes no more spray over the rails than we would have expected. She has a fairly narrow entry and therefore cuts cleanly through the waves rather than pounding through them. In the staterooms, sound is minimized and all that can be heard is the water rushing across the hull. Back in port, we got a good feel of how well she handles at low speed, and more importantly, it was time to put the Zenta joystick to the test. It works to combine the main drives with the bow and stern thrusters to provide precision handling. The 750 is typically boarded from the passerelle with its 330-pound load limit. It extends from risers in the starboard stairs, so it does not impede having dual access to the cockpit when stowed. From a floating pier, she can of course be boarded from the swim platform. Access to the crew quarters and engine room is through a watertight door at the transom. There's room for two, and the space includes a wet head and a view out the transom windows. Just outside is the laundry and cable reels, and the entry allows for free access without disturbing the cockpit ambiance. And of course, it's in close proximity to the engine room for regular checks. Twin-man V8 1000 engines are standard. Here we have the optional 1200s. Both models are turbocharged, but these 1200s have 2 stages instead of a single stage of the 1000 horsepower, and both are driving through ZF transmissions to straight shafts. Power takeoffs are also clearly accessible on top of each transmission. Sea strainers are just behind. The entire compartment offers 6 feet 1 inch of headroom. Diamond plate non-skid decking runs throughout. Exhaust risers are well supported. Stainless rails surround the engines. Dual 20 kilowatt generators are stacked against the aft bulkhead, and electricity is controlled from the ship's panel next to the helm. Double Raycor fuel filters for the mains allow changeouts on the fly. The main electrical panel is on the forward bulkhead, and of course both engines can be run up from this compartment. To the bow, the working area is easily accessed from roomy side decks with plenty of protection. 4 cleats lead through hawse holes with rollers. We have a centrally located windlass with a chain rod running under the deck to an anchor roller in the stem. It's controlled through foot controls to either side of the couch, as well as a remote in the storage underneath the couch. Access to the lower helm station is either through the salon or through this semi-automatic Nemo watertight door. It's a raised helm station with a double-wide height-adjustable bench seat. Prestige went with a full Raymarine package, including closed-circuit cameras, and even a T300 forward-looking infrared is offered. A module between the 2 displays contains the relative wind display, the autopilot control, and the display for the ship's systems. And as with the rest of the Prestige line, the dash is stitched leather and non-glare. ZF controls are digital, and of course side power is offered from the Zenta joystick. Man engine displays are separated to both sides of the panel. I'd rather see them together, one over the other, and group all the switches together, much like we see here in the upper helm. There's no real view of the stern through the entry hatch, so a cockpit control station would definitely be a welcome convenience. And that's my sea trial and review from an owner-operator's perspective of the Prestige 750.